Hello, Marcello. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here at Agile Reloaded, and thanks for sharing your feedback and your time to let us know how you found our latest Meetup event on business writing.
Thanks for having me. I was really happy to participate to this business writing event, and I'm actually look forward to participate to the workshop.
Thank you. So tell us a bit about yourself, your profession, what are the main goals and challenges in your role?
Yeah, I've been in the digital industry for 19 years now, which makes me an old person, but I focused on the product manager role in the last 6 years. That's what I do for a living. Of all the type of product managers that you can find working in the industry now, I am more technical. I tend to sit very close to the developers and try to understand how the product actually works behind the scenes. But at the same time, as any product manager, I have to talk to different type of stakeholders, from C-levels and other PMs, testers and UX designers, but at the same time with salespeople, customers and the final users as well. So communication should be targeted to the different type of audience. So that's why I was interested in participating in the business writing event.
Great. We've been saying now a few times business writing, and the people watching this video might be wondering, what is that, right? It can be quite a vague term. Can you tell us what business writing is for you and how important it is in your daily job?
Yeah, I mean, for me, business writing is everything that you write in some kind of channel in a professional environment. And whatever you write must be written in the most professional way and targeted in order to maximize the achievement of that message. So, of course, we're the matter of a product managers, the user stories, what we describe from user perspective, how the products should behave. The main target of these user stories usually are developers and testers. And that's basically how we describe and share the knowledge of the product in order to be built. But in order to arrive to that point, there's a lot of communication needs to happen, both to gather the requirements, agree on the scope, designing the roadmap, sharing progress with internal and external stakeholders. So all of this communication to different channels, I would summarize it, all of them, as business writing.
So it's quite a wide scope, right? And they can be very different from one another. So what were then your main takeaways from the Meetup event that we ran on business writing?
Yeah. So we said that business writing is a large scope. What I really liked about that event is that it focused on one aspect only, which is the transactional communication between stakeholders. And the focus was even closer on emails. So I really like that part, the fact that it was so limited in scope in order to focus clearly on the rules of engagement for that specific medium. And then the rules of that can be extended to every type of communication. It was divided into parts. At the beginning, it was more a bad example of communication to an email. And then the presenter, Sri, would share us what his thoughts and take points on how that specific communication could improve. And then there was a very interesting back and forth with the audience. So it was really interactive to point out which parts were not working. And I also liked that the message would progress to a smaller, more readable one and would improve the quality. And so that felt really, really useful. The second part was an exercise where in a small group, we had a chunky piece of mail with a lot of information, and we wanted to make it as useful as possible to the receiver. And so in a 5-minute exercise, we chopped away the things that we believe were less important, and we focused on the points that were more important, and we written them in a way that was understandable and readable in the best way. So that's definitely interesting. My main takeaway is looking at some examples of bad practices, which is like referring too much to sports wording, like drop the ball or hit the base home run or something, which don't make sense for people that are not familiar with baseball or cricket or whatever, and look at the examples of things that I could have done better in the past, And the thing that I actually rethinking that a lot of references to Italian culture are not immediately understandable to other stakeholders, that all the right to not know, about our TV series from the 80s and stuff like that. I could have done better, and I definitely will try to do better in the future whenever that kind of communication feels the right one. And I was thinking. So that's definitely something that I took away from it. I'm going to bring with me for the future.
That's really interesting. Thank you. You've also signed up to the workshop that we're going to run at the end of April. It's a 4-hour workshop with a broader scope and also more in-detail examples and practical tips. What do you expect from it, and would you recommend it to other people doing your same job, so product managers?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it to product managers, because high quality documentation, high quality communication is one of the must-haves in order to perform my job in the best way possible. What I'm expecting is different applications of the same principles. So, for example, showcase slides, which quite often become extremely awkward and very complicated to understand if we go into too many technical details that can be explained in best ways. So that's definitely something that I suggest to cover. Technical documentation and maybe also training documentation. They're all domains that are extremely interesting and challenging all the time for people like me.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Marcello, and your feedback. It was very useful for us.
Thank you for inviting me. And as I said, I look forward for the next event.
Thank you.